News on the Standard newspaper this morning.
And now just looking at some in Lamu County, we see the Return Our Land says locals on scrapped power project. And our locals in Lamu are demanding a return of 975 of the acres the government set aside for proposed 200 billion coal-fired power plant in Lamu. And they want the National Lands Commission to revoke the title deed issued to investors after the National Environment Tribunal, in 2019 ruled that the National Environmental Management Authority and the Amu Power had not carried out an environment impact assessment. And the proposed plant was to be built in Kwasasi village in Hindi, Lamu West, and was projected to generate 1,050 megawatts of power upon completion. And this is a story on page 23 of County News on the Daily Nation.
And as the Standard there is the Standard Business. We have construction delays at Utali College. Cost payers are 15. That is 1.5 billion more. And this is about the Kenya taxpayers who are facing up to 1.5 billion in cost from penalties and fees over construction delays at the proposed Ronald Ngala Utali College in Kilifi County. A story as well on the page 32 of the Standard newspaper.
And now looking at business on my side, UBA is key Kenya to fund over 200 Kenyan SMEs. UBA Kenya, part of the Lagos-based banking multinational UBA Group, will provide 200 Kenya small and medium enterprises with seed capitals. The program will be supported by Tony Elumelu Foundation, that is TEF, and an entrepreneurship program that has over the last 7 years supported local entrepreneurs. The foundation, which was founded by African investor and UBA PLC chairman Tony Elumelu in 2015, is an NGO organization. And this is going to benefit most of the farmers, and the target is to open new branches in Nakuru and Mombasa, with plans to expand the network to major key towns in the country by the end of 2023. Yes.
And we have Letshego profit up 16 PC with Kenyan unit netting 1.5 billion. This is all about that is earnings on the Standard Business as well, with the Pan-African Financial Services firm. Letshego Holdings has reported a 16% increase in profit after tax to 7.2 billion, that is 730 million Botswana pula in the year to December 2021, compared to 6.2 billion, that is 631 billion Botswana pula. Still as well on the page 32 of the Standard newspaper this morning.
Yes, and looking on my side, Standard Chartered profits hit a 5-year high. And Standard Chartered Bank Kenya has reported a 66.2% jump in net profit from the full year to December 2021, helped by the reduced costs and resilient income on the expanding loan book. Now, the lender recorded 9 billion Kenyan shillings in profit after tax, the highest in 5 years since 2016, and 9.5 billion, and compared to 5.4 billion in 2020. And the rise is attributed to a 6.4% rise in total operating income to 29.2 billion, despite the drop in net interest income from loans and advances, while the operating costs dropped by 19.6% to 16.1 billion. This is a story on page 35 of the Daily Nation.
And still, you have taxman cycles 319 cases out of court, that is easing compliance. And this is about KRA, that is the Kenya Revenue Authority, has resolved 319 cases during the first half of 2022 through alternative dispute resolution, that is the ADR. A story on the page 33 of the Standard newspaper.
And now, because we are looking at money matters, I cannot afford to miss this story, and this is National Treasury Principal Secretary Julius Moya, has dispelled claims that the government has exceeded the 9 trillion Kenya shillings public debt limit. Now, Dr. Muya told the Public Accounts Committee of the National Assembly that all borrowing by the government is properly guided by the law. This comes after Garissa Township MP Aden Duale demanded the National Assembly summons Treasury Cabinet Secretary Ukur Yatani to explain why the government has exceeded the debt limit without the approval of Parliament as required by the law. And Mr. Duale, in a request for a statement from the House Committee on Finance and National Planning, he says the violation of the debt cap is largely due to guaranteed debts to various state agencies. And just to have a look, according to the Treasury, the nominal public debt stock, including guaranteed debt, stood at 7.74 trillion, and this is about 69.7% of the country's GDP as at the end of June 2021. So 69.07%. And still the public debt expands its servicing is proving to be a major concern and limiting the availability of cash to support other budgetary expenditures. And I don't know how true this is, that we have not exceeded the 9 trillion mark.
Of course, we are yet there, but at least there's some truth in it. Maybe some just want to get the whole thing about it. You can just tell them which page on the National, on the Nation, Daily Nation this morning. Maybe they can just have a look on that exactly.
This story is on the back page of the Daily Nation, where it is well detailed, and the amount of numbers in terms of cash that Kenya has borrowed, and which years there, and as of now, how much have we spent, and how much we are expected to pay.
How much we owe other countries we borrowed this money from. And maybe if you can just have a look at some of the comments coming on that is on a platform number this morning. I have Jose Wazima saying good morning, Morning Informant, tuned from Zimmerman as well. That is actually, as usual, sorry, that is Jose Wazima. Thank you very much. With Jane as well, saying good morning, Morning Informant. I'm watching you guys from Nairobi with my cousins. Thank you very much for tuning in to Morning Informant.
And on my Twitter page, I have my Twitter handle. Good morning, Christine and Ngonjo. You're looking very lovely this morning. I am always tuned into your show, and this is Grace watching us from Sabaki. Thank you so much.
That is interesting. With another person saying good morning, Morning Informant. I can't wait to hear what you have for us today, being hashtag Education Tuesday. Of course, you have a very much well lined up program for you today as well. Don't miss this out today.
And I have another one here. Good morning. I would like to wish all the candidates sitting for their exams a success and all the best as they seek to proceed to the next level, and that is in university. I hope that no anomalies will be recorded this year.
That is very much interesting as well. And we as the Morning Informant, of course, we just wish them nothing but success.
Yes, nothing but a success. And of course, in the next hour, we'll be telling you a little bit of what is happening, what has happened so far. Some of it a little bit sad, but others, Ngonja tells me it is stupid. I don't know. I don't know what you think about that. But as we still try to understand that, we look at our county news this morning. And as we had said, the Lamu County residents are demanding that the land that had been given to them, and it was supposed to construct a power plant that was supposed to produce 1,050 watts. This was going to help the community, of course, and in terms of job employment as well. And now they're demanding that that land be returned to them because it was not used as it was planned for. And this is by the government. And this is approximately 925 acres of land. And that is quite a huge, 975.
That is 975 acres
of land. Yes.
That is a very actually huge tract of land as well.
Yes, and maybe I move on to Nairobi County, where Sonko's 33 guards in Coast trip raises questions. Former Nairobi Governor Mike Sonko would use as many as 33 police officers to guard him while traveling locally, an audit report has revealed. Auditor General Nancy Gathungu has fingered the county government for irregular payment of allowances to the security officers. Ms. Gathungu says Mr. Sonko was one time was at one time during a trip to Mombasa between July 22nd and August 12, 2018, accompanied by 33 police officers. The officers, according to the report of the financial year ended June 30th, 2019, were paid more than 4 million in allowances. For guarding the ex-governor. This was part of a staggering 337 million Kenya shillings the county government spent on domestic travel and subsistence during the period under review. However, the county government failed to explain the purpose of the journey and authorization for use of 33 police officers. Interestingly, 2 months before the July trip, the former governor was in the news saying his life was in danger following the withdrawal of his security detail. This is a story on page 23 of the Daily Nation.
That's a very actually interesting story and an eye-catching story as well this morning that is under the standard, that is under the news making headlines on our counties this morning. And maybe, Christine, without further ado, maybe we can just normally take a flight. Be as usual, because it has been our prayer every morning. Always take a flight, and there is never at any one time actually we've just tried to leave our viewers away. We always move with you. And under the standard world, this morning we have Chad's junta and rebels open peace talks in Qatar. Actually, we have a Chad's ruling military council and representatives of rebel forces met for the formal opening of peace talks in Qatar on Sunday, and part of a broader diplomatic effort to halt decades of fighting and instability in the vast faction-ridden nation. And we have the negotiations at a hotel in Noha aim to pave the way for a head of the junta, that is General Mohamed Idris Deby, to lead the strategic Central African country towards a new elections in 18 months. And we have a punchline from the Libyan foreign minister that says we must join efforts and discard differences in order to overcome the common challenge of the spread of transnational organized crime and to eliminate extremist terrorism and terrorist groups. There's a story on the page 34 of the Standard newspaper this morning, a very much well broken down story in the Standard newspaper this morning.
And on my side, I have rather sad news, and 17 killed as cyclone lashes Mozambique and Malawi. The death toll from a cyclone that struck Mozambique this week climbed to 12 on Sunday as it moved towards Malawi, killing 5 more after devastating wind and rain lashed the southern African countries. Now, Cyclone Gombe has affected more than 30,000 people, injuring 40 and destroyed more than 3,000 homes since making landfall on Friday. Powerful winds reaching 170 kilometers per hour and torrential rainfall hit the northern Nampula province by the Indian Ocean and neighboring Zambezia province particularly hard. In the port city of Nacala, houses were teetering on the edge of cliffs facing the ocean and walls had collapsed. And this is according to what an AFP photographer saw, and maybe from some of the drone footages that we have received from also Red Cross as well. It shows lands and masses of land filled with water. And actually in one I saw a family that was hanging onto a cliff, a small cliff, and that is where they were rescued from by the helicopter that was the Red Cross helicopter. And they tried to save the family. And some of them were walking in mud, and they have no homes because they are filled with water. And the cyclone hit the landfall on Friday.
That is actually a very sad story. And they were just hanging on the cliff to avoid drowning.
Yes.
It's so unfortunate, very sad as well.
And at the time we were doing that report, because we did that in our news items right here on SHANI TV. The death toll was at 9, but on Sunday it had reached a high of 12, and today it is at 17. Yes.
So the number is increasing daily.
The death toll is increasing. Yes.
And we have ambush and reprisals in Ethiopia kill 64 people. A story on the page 34 under the Standard. The world world news that says at least 53 people died in western Ethiopia after an unidentified armed group attacked a civilian convoy and its military escort in a region plagued by ethnic violence. A rights body appointed by the government said this on Sunday, and the previously unreported attack occurred on March 2nd in Metekel in the Gumuz region. That is, the Ethiopian Human Rights Commission said. And this story, it says that the rights body did not say which security force killed the civilians, because there is actually some reports of the civilians being killed as well. And spokesman for the two regions, that is the Benishangulus and Gumuz, actually were not available for comment. A military spokesman and a government spokesman did not immediately respond to requests for comment as well. This is a story about about our actually northern neighbor here, that is Ethiopia, on the page 34 of the Standard newspaper as well, and a very sad story as well, with the with the death toll now rising to over 50 people so far.
And on my side, Russia is asking Beijing for military and economic aid on Ukraine. Russia has asked China for military and economic aid for its war in Ukraine. According to U.S. media reports on Sunday, hours after the White House warned Beijing would face severe consequences if it helps Moscow evade sanctions. U.S. officials told media that Russia had requested military equipment and support from its key ally. Moscow also asked Beijing for economic assistance against the crippling sanctions imposed against it by most of the Western world. And the officials declined to explain exactly what Russia had requested or whether China had responded. This is according to the reports by the U.S. media houses. A spokesperson for the Chinese embassy in Washington told multiple outlets, "I have never heard of that," when asked about the alleged requests. And Beijing has declined to directly condemn Moscow for launching its invasion and has repeatedly blamed NATO's eastwards expansion for worsening tensions between Russia and Ukraine, echoing the Kremlin's prime security grievance. This is a story on page 28 of the Daily Nation.
And we have talks resume as Russia troops pressure Ukrainian capital Kyiv. That is a story on the page 35 of the Standard newspaper this morning, that says Russia's military forces kept up their punishing campaign to capture Ukraine's capital as residents of other besieged cities held up hope yesterday. New diplomatic talks might open the way for more civilians to evacuate or even emergency supplies to reach them. And we have a content table that says 596 people have actually been killed since Russia invaded Ukraine. That is on February 24th, according to the United Nations. And we have 85 minors, that is the Ukrainian children, have been killed since Russia invaded Ukraine as the symptom. That is on the 24th of February this year. That is a story as well, and a report by the United Nations. And we have the humanitarian corridors. There are actually 10 routes that are set to open Ukrainian authorities. And with me here, Christine, I have an image of a woman, maybe a middle-aged woman who is getting out of a residential building that was actually struck as Russia's attack on Ukraine continues. A very, very sad image. If you can just have a look at it, it is a very, very sad image on the page 35 of the Standard newspaper this morning.
And now getting sporty on Morning Informant, Kakamega Homeboys of hopes of a maiden Football Kenya Federation Premier League title could not be dented further should champions Tusker drawn KCB at Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani today. The only league match of the day will be the first meeting this season between the two sides, who in their last campaign went neck and neck in the Battle of the Crown, with the Brewers carrying the day. And nine round 23 matches are lined up for tomorrow and Thursday, and thereafter the competition will take a 2-week break. And the Homeboys, who on Sunday suffered a major blow in their charge towards the title after they lost 2-1 to hosts Bandari, are atop the 18-team league with 46 points. And now just looking at the fixtures for today, tomorrow, and Thursday. Today, unless unless stated otherwise, all matches are meant to start at 3 p.m. with KCB playing against Tusker Miscellaneous at Kasarani Annex. And tomorrow we have AFC and Police will play at Nyayo Stadium. Bidco and Kariobanki Sharks will play at Thika Stadiums. Gor Mahia versus Wazito FC also, and Sofapaka versus FC Talanta will be playing tomorrow. And on Thursday we will have Bandari versus the City Stars at Mbaraki Sports Club. Ulinzi versus Homeboys will play at Kericho Stadium. And Mathare versus Poster Rangers, and Vihiga Bullets versus Nzoia FC at Bukungu Stadium. This is a story on page 46 of the Daily Nation, and on all the results that come in and how they play, we will inform you right here in all our bulletins.
Of course, we'll always make you understand what is actually moving on and what is happening currently.
Yes.
And we have some of the races this year. There is a content table about the number of races and where. And that is on the page 46 of the Standard newspaper. We have a content table about some of the races this year, with the first one being the Eldoret City Marathon that shall take place on the April 10th. That is this year. And we have the at least a Diamond League that shall take as well a part that shall happen on the 9th of September. It's a list of maybe over 10, that is number of races in this year. And of course, it's very much well broken down in the Standard newspaper with the dates and venues as well.
And now we have come to the close of our dailies this morning, and we want to go on a break, and we will come back with the topic of discussion today being Education Tuesday. And before we do, it is a little bit of fun time now, and I just want to, we look at a riddle, and maybe I know if Ngonjo is alert, because riddles are a brain teaser, and I want to see if Ngonjo is alert. Maybe I go now.
Maybe you should.
Okay, my question is this. What has hands and a face but can't hold anything or smile?
Can you repeat the riddle once more? I want to get it
What
right.
has hands and a face but cannot hold anything or smile? It has hands but cannot hold anything. It has a face but cannot smile. What is it?
I'm just assuming it's should that be a bat or what? I'm not sure, but I think
It's a household item.
it's a cup.
No.
It's it's not a sufuria, not a dispenser.
No, it's not.
Maybe you can give me another hint.
Let me give you another hint. It tells you how to plan your day.
Oh my God. I've got no idea about that.
The answer is a clock.
A clock. Oh,
Yes.
really? I didn't know.
It has the minute hand and the second hand. So it has two hands.
And it has got the face. That is where you.
That is where you see the time, but cannot smile.
No. And I think there should be another one that should make me understand better. Another one maybe.
Maybe I have another one. It belongs to you, but your friends use it more. What is it?
It belongs to you, but your friends use it more.
Use it more.
Use it more.
Yes.
I think you should take a.
And the answer is your name.
Oh, your name. And
You can't keep saying your name, but people will call you by
but
your
it's
name.
your name.
Yes,
Exactly.
it is your name.
It's interesting as well.
Yes.
But maybe I'll know how to get you now.
Yes, and on that note, we take our first break. We will be back with the topic of discussion.
Welcome to Mountain View Gardens Nanyuki by Finca Properties Limited. These are 50 by 100 plots going for a cash offer price of 220,000 Kenya shillings and 250,000 Kenya shillings in installment. All legal and transfer fees inclusive. Mountain View Gardens is located in a gated community along Nanyuki Rumuruti Road, neighboring All Pejeta Conservancy and Mount Kenya Homes. This area has all social amenities, all with roads, water, electricity, and an electric fence already installed. Mountain View Gardens is just few minutes drive from Nanyuki town and is ready for immediate development with a free site visit every Wednesday and Saturday. For inquiries, bookings, reservations, and free site visit, SMS the word plot to 4309. Call us on 0721 737 300 or visit our website at www.finca.co.ke. Come to our offices in Kitengela Town, Pena Towers, Suite B6. Finca Properties Limited, prime and affordable.